Yeah. Together in this moment. Only if we. There we are. Welcome. There we go. Oh, goodness. So glad to be back. It's been a few weeks. And the last time I was here, I was just coming down with whatever was going around at that time. But now I'm glad to be back. And Reverend Terry pinch hit for me last week, so that was great. So today we're going to start off with a song. We're going to change things up a little bit today. So let's see how it all goes, people. Keep your fingers crossed.
Do we all have the words? This is our new opening song. We come together in this moment. We bind our hearts and minds, for we all form a tapestry woven from one life, one creation, undivided, all unique expressions of God. We come together now in one accord. We're going to do that again. We come together in this moment. We bind our hearts and minds, for we all form a tapestry woven from one life, one creation, undivided, how unique expressions of God. We come together now in one accord.
As we settle into this time and space and welcome each person here today, thank you for being with us. I'm going to take a moment to express our gratitude for each person and also to acknowledge that I'm a settler on this land. And I want to show gratitude for the First Peoples for their love and care of this land and all the waters and all the living creatures. We want to pay respects for living, working, and playing and learning on these unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including Semiahmoo, Katsi, Coquitlam, Kequiat, Wasonic, and Tsawwassen First Nations. So may this acknowledgement serve as a reminder of understanding and harmony as we forge ahead on a shared journey for a more compassionate society. As here at CSL White Rock, our vision is a loving, vibrant world that works for all.
We come together in this moment. We bind our hearts and minds, for we all form a tapestry woven from one life, one creation, undivided, all unique expressions of God. We come together now in one accord. We come together now in one accord.
Ooh, beautiful. That was fun. We tried a little something different and it worked out well. Thank you. So again, everyone, my name's Rev Tamara Rossander. I'm so glad everyone's here today, and we're live streaming on YouTube today, so we're hoping that's going well. So hello everybody who's watching us online. And so today I'm just going to go straight into our announcements. So we have a few announcements. we have, today, after service, stay and have a conversation. Reverend Diane. I just graduated her. No schooling needed. She's already above that. She's going to lead us in a conversation about one of our foundational beliefs of nothing outside of me needs to change for me to be happy. So, and for our online community, if you go onto our website, you can join on Zoom, and we will have a conversation afterwards. And then on June 9th, next Sunday, I'm going to be joined by Reverend Savannah Noel, and I would love your questions. We are going to have, Sandy's got cards on the table, or on the chairs, sorry, for everyone. So please, if you have a question of something you want to know, how can you use science of mind in your life? Do you have a question about one of our beliefs? Maybe you want to know Reverend Savannah's favorite page of Science of Mind, or her favorite reading, or whatever it is, but definitely write out your questions for us so that we can have them ready for you, because we will be answering those questions next Sunday. So it's going to be a little bit of a different view next Sunday, so I'm looking forward to it. And then on June 11th, we have our Sacred Evening Circle with practitioner Liv and Georgia. They'll be doing that on Zoom, and that goes from 7:30 to 9:30. And we also have all our events on our whiteboard on the side. And anytime you ever need to know anything, the best place to go, besides our newsletter, which hopefully everybody signed up for the newsletter, but is our website. We have all our programs and everything always there that you can find. And if you miss a talk or you're not able to, definitely join us on YouTube, and we're working on getting things on Facebook. So that is the announcements for this morning. And now I'd like to turn it over to practitioner Liv to do our opening prayer and meditation.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Liv Daniel, one of the practitioners at CSL White Rock. Hello, lovely YouTube community as well. Hope a lot of people are watching us this morning. So I am going to lead you into meditation and then into a prayer. I invite you to close your eyes if you feel more grounded that way. And take these few minutes as your own, as they are yours. And allow this time to be yours. Your time to connect with your breath. Your time to connect with that all-knowing energy that is spirit within you. And take a deep breath in and let it all out. Everything that happened this week, just let it all go. It's no longer. It's in the past. And the future has not yet arrived. So merge yourself into this present moment with your breath, with the beat of your heart. And I thought I'd bring you a little meditation around courage, since that is the topic that Rev Tamara will be talking about. I invite you to find a place of courage in your body. Bring up a memory of something courageous that happened in your life, something courageous you did. When you felt fear about something, but you went for it anyway. And as you bring that memory back, notice where that memory is giving you a feeling. Is it in your stomach? Is it in your heart? Is it in your shoulders? Maybe it's in your knees or in your hips. The invitation is to notice where that feeling of bravery or courage lives in your body. This place where your thoughts towards courage born, where going outside your green growing edges lives, where you trust in the process because of this undeniable feeling that comes from within you that nudges or pushing you towards something new, something uncomfortable, something different. Notice where that place is and breathe into that part of your body. And as you do that, know that any new experience that you create is building new neural paths, new electrical circuits in your brain that will keep your mind fresh, flexible, open, and receptive. This is the science behind our famous motto from Dr. Ernest Holmes: change your thinking, change your life. Because courage will change your life. It will change you. It opens you up. It makes you vulnerable. It makes you approachable, relatable, resilient, and adaptable. With courage, you are ready to face anything with a smile and confidence. I'm going to close the meditation with a quote from Nelson Mandela. He said, "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave human is not the one who doesn't feel afraid, but the one who conquers that fear." And let us go into prayer for the knowingness of this courage that we all have. I know that the universe is governed by this energy that is present in everything, in and through all that is. It always has been, and it always will be. And this energy and this power of spirit is the exact same energy and power that fuels every single one of you spiritual beings in this room and on YouTube. And I know that this energy never goes anywhere. It might transform into something else, but it is within each and every one of you. Like a pilot light in a gas tank, it's always on. And as I feed it with courage and new experiences and the wisdom of all the collected life experiences, this light grows and it turns into a fire that fuels a life that is full of light, joy, passion, and power. And I know that courage brought each and every one of you to this place here today. You are all courageous human spiritual beings. You are seeking a new experience, and that is very courageous. And so I know that this courage that we all have within us, this trust in life, in spirit, in God, in life, is the source of all good in the universe. And that is all yours to have. I'm so grateful for this realization, and I'm so grateful for each breath and each thought that connects me to my very courageous being. And so I know that this trust, this courage I need for life to go on, I always have with me. And I don't have to do anything. Just release my words into the universe that always nods and supports all that I do, think, and say. And if any of this resonates with you, please say with me, and so it is. And now I will invite Leora and Jay back with another song to fuel that fire in us.
Humble yourself in the sight of your sister. Bend down low and humble yourself in the sight of your brother. Ask him what he knows, and we shall lift each other up higher and higher. We shall lift each other up. Humble yourself in the sight of your children. Bend down low and humble yourself in the sight of your children. We gotta know what they know. We shall lift each other up higher and higher. We shall lift each other up. Humble yourself in the sight of love. Bend down low and humble yourself in the sight of your love. Let your love light show, and we shall lift each other up higher and higher. We shall lift each other up.
We were talking about being courageous. So I'm inviting you to come into this song with me. Just sing whatever word comes to you. It'll all work out, trust me.
Humble yourself in the sight of your sister. Bend down low and humble yourself.
That's it.
In the sight of your brother. Ask him what he knows, and we shall lift each other up higher and higher. We shall lift each other up.
Sounds good.
Humble yourself in the sight of your children. Bend down low and humble yourself in the sight of your children. We gotta know what they know, yeah. We shall lift each other up higher and higher. We shall lift each other up.
Sounds good.
Humble yourself in the sight of love. higher. Ooh, be courageous with your love. Lift each other up. Humble yourself.
Humble yourself and lift each other up. Yeah, so great. So thank you, thank you. We're so fortunate that we have such amazing musicians come and spend some time with us. So there's a few things we're going to talk about today, and happy June to everyone. Oh, am I there? And June has a few things going on with it. June is Canadian Indigenous History Month, and also June is Pride Month. So we need to just being aware, and that's that lifting each other up, that signs of lifting up to brother and sister. And actually, I have a book right there. Thank you, Liv. From a Canadian author, Richard Wagamese, who's with the from Ontario. But he had from one of the Ojibwe elders a song. It says, "Grandfather, look at our brokenness. We know that we are the ones who are divided, and we are the ones who must come back together to worship and walk in a sacred way, that by our affirmation we must heal the earth and heal each other." From Songs for the People, Art Solomon, an elder. So I thought that was a great way to start off today, because today we're talking about spiritual audacity. And I was like, audacity, how can you be spiritual and audacious? That's the word, that's how you say it, right? And so what I found is about being brave and being bold and being courageous, which Liv talked about as well. So we can choose to live our life in that small ways, or we can shine our light. We can choose to live large, larger than what we have. And our experience is that reflection of that choice. So today is an opportunity to make any necessary adjustments to achieve a different outcome in our lives. Right? And every day we're at choice. And that's when we go to those, our four noble truths that we always talk about, our four tenets. You know, the first one is that there is only one thing, and that is the divine, God, whatever you want to call it, and that we are one with that one. The second one is that nothing outside of it, no, that's the last one. I'm going to say them out of order. But anyways, right? There's nothing outside of us that needs to change. And we are spirit having this human experience. We are spirit having this human experience. And then our last one is that we're here to walk each other home. Right? So we're here as a spiritual community practicing. And I watched Reverend Marilyn's talk from 2 weeks ago. And I loved how she leaned into you guys and said, you know, this is your hour of spiritual uplift. And I thought, yes, this is that hour where we go on a Sunday where we can reset for the next week, reset and figure out, okay, amen. Woo! Hallelujah. Through that. So, right, we reset and we can start over again today, because every moment we're at choice. So this is the time that we can lean in to our inner courage. Right? So that's part of the place where we're showing our audacity. We're at choice on how we engage life and whether we want to choose to subdue our light, or do we want to live boldly? Do we want to live boldly? So, like the red blood cells that flow through our bodies, what is in our consciousness and our awareness flows through every part of our being and impacts our energy and our decisions. The primary place where opportunities exist for us to begin to make new, courageous choices is in that deeper sense of our spiritual connection to everything and to everyone. When we live life feeling connected, we experience a powerful sense of confidence and serenity that begins to allow us to transcend our fear. Fearless living becomes our norm when we can connect, right? So it's the courage. Michael Beckwith, we're reading right now his book, Visioning, Living a Life. Anyways, it's visioning, life visioning. Thank you, Janet. And he says in the book, he says, having the courage to come face to face with ourselves is the portal through which we can view the pristine features of our original face, which include the qualities of unconditional love, compassion, peace, joy, creativity, and contentment of being. So when we don't want to take our life for granted, we want to step into that looking at ourselves compassionately, because if we go back to that first tenet that there is one life and we are one with that one life, there's only that one thing, that is that unconditional love. And sometimes the Zen master says we take life for granted, sleepwalking until the shattering event knocks us awake. Right? Don't wait for that car accident, the cancer diagnosis, or the death of a loved one to get our priorities straight. We want to do it now. So that was Philip Toshio. He is a pseudo-Japanese American musician and writer. So how do we start making those shifts? How do we start channeling that inner courage and going from where do we go from there? So we start tapping into our spiritual connection. The power of God within us. This is from Ernest Holmes. The power of God within us is like a sleeping giant, which must be awakened that may spring into action. It is the power within us is like a sleeping giant, which must be awakened to spring into action. So what is the secret longing of your heart that is waiting to spring into action? Right? Remember last week, Reverend Terry asked you that question. What is your question that you ask yourself to move you forward every day? What is that question? You know, mine, when he talked about, Terry and I had done the same courses. And my question that I ask myself is, what am I doing that makes my heart sing today? What am I doing that makes my heart sing today? And where I find it is working is when I step into my spiritual practice. When I do the visioning, when I do my meditation, when I do my spiritual mind treatment, aka prayer. Right? That is when I'm grounded, I'm centered, and I'm aware of that inner presence that's within me. Because it's always there, as Jill calls it, that best friend within. It's always with me at all times. So it's getting past our fears and then leaning into our faith. Leaning into our faith. Goethe says, whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. In boldness, there is genius, power, and magic. Whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Right? So there is those places that we stop ourselves and we say, no, who am I to do this? Who am I to do that? I think I've shared with you before, even in my own family. My family looks at me and goes, What? You're a minister? What are you doing? Nobody else in our family does anything like that. Why are you doing that? But there was that calling, that wanting of connection, of more, that spiritual calling. And when we're moving past our fear, Ernest Holmes says the answer to our need lies not in God's willingness, but in our willingness to accept, and our ability through faith to recognize that divine presence as the great reality of life. That divine presence that is within each of us. It is there just waiting to be awakened, like that giant that is within. So how do we do that again? We can then ignite our imagination. Right? There's always that small little voice inside, if we're quiet enough and listen, that says, well, Tamara, why don't you try this today? Or it's Leora saying, hey, well, we used to stop and just play this song, and there's a little spot that you can just maybe, Reverend Terry used to talk through. And I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that. That was kind of nice. I said, let me try doing our land acknowledgement there. And I thought it worked out wonderfully. Right? So it's those little things that sometimes drop in, whether from yourself or from somebody else. It's that when I'm willing to listen and willing to step into it. And change can be scary. I'm actually, believe it or not, people have seen me change like 5 billion times throughout. Every day it's like, maybe we should try something new. But I actually don't really like change. My husband laughs at me all the time. He's like, you're trying to change it again? And I'm like, I know, it just hasn't found the right thing. And I need that little bit of a hit to do that. So it ignites, though, my imagination. And the universe loves us so much, it doesn't leave us alone. It keeps sending those ideas and opportunities our way, and we're blessed according to our belief and our capacity to receive and to demonstrate. That's straight from Ernest Holmes, right? That it's when we're willing to accept. So it's when we're in our faith that makes us whole, but it is also our beliefs that limit us. In some parts of the world, there's young elephants that are trained, and they start with a big rope trained to their ankle, and they can only go so far and walk so far around the tree. And then the baby elephant stops pulling against the chain and realizes he has his limits. So then he doesn't move as much. And then they tie a rope to his ankle. I know, it's sad. I'm just probably for all animal people. It's hard. But then they tie the rope, but he doesn't. He could easily break the rope, but he doesn't because he's been conditioned already. He's been conditioned. And then they take off the rope and just do the leaf of a lotus, the reed, the branch. And then he still doesn't move away or run away because this is his life. This is what he's been brought up with. And this is what he knows. So the elephant will not go anywhere because it feels that little tug, just that little tug. But how often do we feel that little tug? We think, okay, I want to do something. We are that elephant sometimes. We're trained to believe in limitation that has no more power than our belief in it. That lotus reed cannot contain the elephant except by one thing, and that's the elephant's belief. So where do we let that little lotus leaf stop us from living the life that we want, creating that next step in our journey, walking that path? His belief is in his confinement. His belief is limitation. And it's our belief systems that sometimes hold us back. But when we're talking about faith and believing, we're talking about the power of believing. Faith is the name of this power. Faith is the spiritual power that we direct through the lens of our own thinking. The sun shines on us all the same way, and the divine is available, reaching out to us, offering us its life just the same. It's always there. It's always offering those little ideas. Howard Thurman said, in the stillness of the quiet, if we listen, we can hear the whisper of the heart, giving strength to weakness, courage to fear, and hope to despair. So let's tune into that. Let's tune into what are ways that we can increase our faith and act in that spiritual audacity. I have a slide. I do. I hear from a little voice in the back. One is pause. So you have your dream, you know there is one presence and one power in the universe, and you'll be given some ideas, some steps to follow. Some of them may go well, some of them may not. But when your idea doesn't pan out, rather than lose our faith, lose our belief, just pause. Wait in the energy and the love of life that inspired you to begin with. When you get to the edge of what you know, how to do it, and you'll feel blocked, just pause. Because if we don't pause, we may flounder and repeat the same thinking, that old pattern, and what happens when we repeat the same thing? What is that saying they have about, you keep doing the same thing over and over again? Insanity, yes, imagine that. What are those same things, those same beliefs, those same thoughts that go round and round and round? So it's when we pause and we breathe into it that we can change it, we can shift it. So there was a composer, Rossini. He put his heart and soul into an opera that you may have heard of called The Barber of Seville. So the night it came out for debut, the performance was a total critical fiasco. All the critics said it was the worst thing they'd ever seen. The lead singers of the productions were devastated, and they looked for Rossini to get some comfort, but he was not to be found. So they decided he must have felt so horrible that he was hiding out. But finally someone found him home in bed, sound asleep. And they said, "Maestro, are you all right?" And he replied, "Yes, I was having a nice sleep before you woke me up, thank you." "But the opera was a fiasco. What are we to do?" And he said, "Well, evidently, the barber is not good enough now. So I'm going to take some time, allow inspiration to come to me, and then I will compose something better." The opera later met with grand acclamation and became a big hit on Broadway. Rossini knew that he had to take some time with it and recreate it. So rather than getting freaked out and doing that, he just took that pause. Secondly, we can give thanks and pray. This is where the shift occurs. We turn up our spiritual amplitude and we turn into that higher frequency, and we pray in gratitude, allowing our heart and our soul to be lifted into that sense of connection with that divine, that higher power. So if you lift our mind to consciousness, we can, as Einstein said, we can never solve a problem at the same level of thinking that created the problem. We can never solve the problem at that same level of thinking that created it. So for you and I, what we do is we shift our consciousness. We shift into that awareness, that higher frequency of knowing that all we have to do, well, there's lots we can do, but one of the main things, if we just take that time to pray and say thank you. I know there is an answer. I know there is one presence and one power, and it's bigger than this problem. And I trust that, right? So faith, trust, building that spiritual muscle. And the third thing, what do we always say? Here in Science of Mind, we say treat and move your feet, right? So it's also take action. Take action. So you pause, you pray, you wait to get powered up, but then if you don't take action, even God can't steer a parked car. Right? So we've got to let that power move through our life, and amazing things will happen. I was talking to a friend, and he told me this story about one time he was driving home from somewhere, and he loved baseball, so he stopped to watch a little league play. And so the kids were all really excited, and he was talking to one of the young boys, and he goes, "What's the score?" And he goes, "Oh, it's 14-0. And it's for the other team." And my friend said, "Oh, well, you still sound really encouraged, like you haven't given up. Good for you." He goes, "Yeah, because we haven't gone to bat yet." Right? We haven't gone to bat yet. So that's that piece when we stop and we have to move and treat and do something different. We have to go to bat. We have to move that through. So with that, he wasn't discouraged, and God wants us to step up to bat, to take action. Like the scripture says, faith without works is dead. So another good person to think about of that taking action and not giving up is Walt Disney, right? He went bankrupt 3 times, but he had a dream. It wouldn't leave him, and that was creating the animated movie Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. He didn't have much money, but he just felt that this dream had to come true. So he ended up raising all the money that he needed. He spent a ton load of money. Whoops, almost said a bad word. A ton load, a lot. And he spent more money creating Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs than the other studios invested in Gone with the Wind and The Wizard of Oz combined. Yeah. So it took years, but the film finally opened in 1934 to critical acclaim. It was the first movie of its kind. So if it wasn't for Snow White, then there wouldn't have been Pinocchio, there wouldn't have been Peter Pan, there wouldn't have been Bambi, there would not have been Dumbo, my favorite, Beauty and the Beast, and no Disneyland. So he did not originally think about Disneyland. He wasn't dreaming about Disneyland early on, right? It wasn't until many years later, after the theme park was built, that he said, Disneyland will never be complete so long as there is an imagination, right? And they're still they've just added a Star Wars theme. Oh, I can't wait to try that out. And I think they added the Cars one. So it's always changing. It's always changing. So there's no bounds to our imagination. The spark of grand visions begins within. You see it when you believe it. The action that we take is fueled from that divine source. So I want to leave you with this, is that each of you has that divine intuition, that inspiration within you. And it's just whether you want to listen to it or push it aside. And sometimes we need to push it aside for a little bit, because sometimes we need to build up that courage. We need to step through it. So just ask yourself, maybe the question that you might want to ask yourself, what belief is holding you back from living your bold, brave, and courageous life? And then the second question I would say to that, are you willing to let that belief go or shift it? Right? It's all about our belief system. So with that, let's take that into prayer. So today, I know there's one life, one love, one universal divine mind that is operating right here, right now, in, through, and as each of us. It is that creative imagination. It is that inner courage. It is that self-compassion. It is the love that each of us are, that is showing up in, through, and as us today. So today I claim that intuition, that joy, that whispering, that divine wisdom, that knowing of truth, that I am one with that one as each of you are one with that one. So today, if we take that out into the world, into this creative place of life, as life always knows what it's doing, and the universe is behind us. It is all of us. It is everything that we do, see, feel. We are uplifted. We support each other in and through this day, knowing that life is good. So as I know this life is good, I know each of us are good. That divine wisdom today, right here, right now. So I'm so grateful for this time together. I'm grateful for this life, grateful for this unfoldment of what is next, of stepping in and living courageously, living boldly. So I let these words go with gratitude into that law of mind that always says yes. And I ask you to join me in saying, and so it is. Thank you. Bring back Laura and Jay. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Good reminders. Yeah. So I had two songs. I wasn't sure which one I would do, and Jay had suggested doing this one, and I think it's perfect after Rev Tamara's talk. And hearing about Disney, too. If you should decide to seek your special dream, your heart's desire, nothing you could ever do would bring more joy to you. And if you're wise, you'll recognize your guiding theme, your heart's desire. Follow that and you may make your dearest dream come true. But if you seek your heart's desire, your heart may break. That's the risk your dreams require, the chance you take, the choice you make, and soon enough the seasons start to slip away. So seize the day, and if the fates are kind, then you may find your heart's desire.
is required. The chance you take, the choice you make, and soon enough the seasons start to slip away. So seize the day and dream your dream and make it grow. You're luckier than most, you know. Lucky to be living for your heart's
The magic of music that transforms everything. It's amazing. Thank you very much. Leora and Jay, where are you guys playing next? What are you doing? What's your next gig?
Yes. So, on the theme of today's topic, being bold and walking into your dream. So, it's been a long time since I released a CD. It was 2007. That's a long time. And I have written these wonderful songs, and finally this summer I'm going to record them. And so thank you. And that's actually one of the ones that'll be on the recording. And to get this recording project going, the first concert was this past Friday in the city at Trinity Grace United, and it was so magical. It was just totally transportive. And then this Friday, we're in North Delta, and that's where I live, my town, just over there, at St. Cuthbert's Anglican Church. That's at 7:30. Yeah.
So you know where the magic happens. Thank you again.
Also, you can go to my website too. It's just my name, leoracash.com. Yeah, and Cash has an E on the end. As my friend said, Leora Cache or Leora Cashew.
Thank you again. And it is now time to acknowledge our gratitude for this loving community. It is everyone's opportunity to participate in this spiritual practice of giving, in the circulation of abundance. Because as you know, we are a non-profit organization, and we walk this path together, and everyone's generosity and spirit is appreciated as it is supports everything that we do at the center. So from this place of love and gratitude that each of us enters into the natural circulation of abundance, that place is the very pulse of the universe, and it's in all of you. So if you are willing to offer a gift that you have, I invite you to place your hand on your heart and know a specific good for yourself and a specific good for the center. And I think we'll have a slide to go with this affirmation in just a minute. We'll wait for it. Oh, the thrill. Here we go. I live in the universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow. And all that I give returns to me multiplied abundantly. I am so blessed, and so it is. And I believe that Leora and Jay have another song. Oh yeah, there it is, it's happening. And as the song plays, the ushers will pass around the basket. I'm sorry, Leora.
Oh, no, it was good. It's all good.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you very much. And here is Reverend Tamara to bless all the givings. And for some of you that are not here in person, and some of you who are committed givers, for anyone who would like to donate or give, in addition, there's different ways you can do it. You can mail us a check. It's a good old way to do it. You can put cash in this basket, or you can send us online transfers. You can either do it through your bank card or your credit card. And all the information for this you can find on our website. And now we're going to ask Reverend Tamara to do her blessings.
Thank you. I'm on. Thank you. So today I take a moment, I bless these gifts. I bless the givers, the receivers, this wonderful community, as I know these gifts make a difference to this beautiful community in so many ways. Just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I acknowledge my practitioners are here with us today. If you are feeling that you need a bit of support in prayer, or you just want to talk through with somebody and they can give you an idea for an affirmation, please see these wonderful women right here. Diane on this side of me, Liv in the middle, and Georgia on the end. It's so good to see you back, Georgia. Yay. So, as you know, our practitioners are always available for support, and what do you want to, oh, sorry, Diane. So definitely see them, or you can also go on our website. We have a spot that you can just put in a prayer request, and one of us will answer. So, with that, that ends our day. So we'll stand up for our final prayer, and we're going to use this thing called Audacity today. All right, so everybody ready? All right, something wonderful is happening in me right now. It's this thing called life. It's this thing called love. It's this thing called audacity. I know it. I feel it. I express it. I am it. And so it is. And welcome back to Leora and Jay. Yay.
Your fellow man, lend him my helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Can we do the second verse? Put a little love in your heart. Another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. They want the world to know we won't let it go. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. Just you wait, and see. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Next one. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Yeah. Put a little love in your heart. I think we should do the first verse. Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand. Put a little love in your heart.
You see it's getting late. Oh, please don't hesitate. Put a little love in your heart.
And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. Just you wait, and see. Put a little love in your heart. 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 That's the one we were looking for. Perfection. Beautiful.
And have a conversation with Diane and I. And if you have a question, please give it to one of the practitioners or Sandy or one of our board members. But would love to get some questions for an interesting conversation next week. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. And thank you, everybody online. I hope you enjoyed the service today, and we look forward to seeing you again and connecting. If you are on Zoom or you are online and want to join the conversation, just register on our website, and we will get you on Zoom. Thanks so much. Have a great day.